Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're out to Arrowhead for the call for...
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Yellow, I'm the blue lady. 50, 50. Hey, watch the slant, watch the slant.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. On play action, now Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They run on first down as they get about 3. Second and 7 forthcoming. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a second and 7.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 22-yard line. For that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 7 catches, 120 yards even.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
That's a jet sweep. This is Adams. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jay Sternberger, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
On second down, it's Dawson. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. On second down now, it's Dawson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 39. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball. And he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Rodgers on target to Valdez-Scantling, and he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Check! Check!
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Rodgers, wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 26.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. To throw, it's Rodgers. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. With a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This will be taken very short. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Mahomes finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. This is taken at the 15. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking deep for Adams. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
That QB's trash. Let's go.
On the draw, this will be Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes gets it off to Freeman. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Mahomes. He goes underneath to Freeman. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is an abbreviated halftime show as we get... Rolling to quarter 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Around the NFL, 2nd quarter in Chicago. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. On 1st down, Kitchen. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Kitchen. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Roughing the passer, defense.
Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long. 2nd and 14. Open man there is Malone. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the 1st half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 16.
One of the selling points at the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
A carry here for Holyfield. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Early down stuffs to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively. From the 29, Mahomes. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Mahomes now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after them now.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Mahomes going to throw. That one complete to Hill. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you, because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if they're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. 2nd and 1. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just... too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Hey, hold on. Let's go, Heavy. Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Let's go, defense. All right, here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Packers on third down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. And I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now here's Mahomes. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Mahomes now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw once more. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fielded just inside the 20. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Flush to his right. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer 1st down. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Green Bay, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.